There's a whole lot of links on there, and this is talking about the sort of questions that you'll get in the exam, and that those questions are linked to character, they're linked to ideas, so that's what we're going to concentrate on. There's actually usually 6 or 8 questions in that exam. I've got links to all the exams along the side here, so you can click at those and have a look at the different questions in each exam. We won't spend too much time doing that now, but if you were to do that, what you'd find is that in each exam from the last 4 years and much further back, if you care to look, is that there are always questions about character, there's always questions about ideas, sometimes those questions are linked. Now, the questions are always general. They're not going to ask you about the curious incident of the dog in the night time, because that's the novel we've decided to study. Miss Minogue's class next door, they're doing a different novel called Of Mice and Men, and around the country, different students do different novels all over the place. Some students don't do novels, they do a play, or they do a piece of non-fiction, or some of them even try and get past by doing a poem or a short story. We've done this novel. So sometimes character and ideas are linked, and all of those different things down there, they link to another PowerPoint that we went through earlier, that I've probably put on Google Classroom, and I've talked about. So if you're not sure what that stuff is about, just have a click on those links and have a bit of a look through. I think they're all linked to pretty much the same PowerPoint, but different parts of that PowerPoint. You'll also find that stuff on the site if you have a scroll around there. Second slide. So here, just going to get rid of this. It's a bit distracting. Here are some examples of questions. And what I did was I went through and picked the character questions and the ideas questions. So this is what the questions look like. 2 parts to the question usually. Describe, 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 describe. So describe how at least one character or individual in the text accepted change and how and why they accepted change. Describe a conflict in the text. Explain something about that conflict. Describe an important idea. Explain why it's relevant to teenagers today. Now, when those people who mark your exams are marking it, they look to see whether you've used the words from the question in your answer. And so part of what we're going to be learning about is how to put that stuff in there and show that we're answering the question. And also, later on, when we look at the criteria, you've got to show some perceptive understanding, and we'll use some words that show that we're doing that as well. So those are some examples of questions. When we answer the questions, they're in 2 parts. We need to address both parts. We need to link that stuff together. They don't so much as look at whether you've answered both parts equally. You just need to have shown you've answered both parts. We're gonna structure our essays with an intro, body paragraphs, and a conclusion, because that's what you do, and that's what they look for. Okay, I'll pause there, guys, and what I'd like you to do